Next on our list of selection tools, we'll take a look at two things, actually, the Quick Selection tool and the Magic Wand tool. Let's start with the Quick Selection tool. Actually, these work very, very similarly. So let's take a look. The Quick Selection tool is you click it and then drag it across. The way to establish the selection is to drag the cursor over the areas you want to include in the section. And of course you let go and there's your selection. So we'll go back to the very beginning and we'll take a look at the Magic Wand tool, and this is really the one that I prefer to use. And the way you do it is just take this cursor and just click on an area and you can see that it's established. If you want to expand the area that is part of the selection, you just take the cursor into the area outside the existing selection, hold down the Shift key, then left click, and you'll be able to add to it. Now, it's not a perfect process. You have to put the cursor in different areas of the image to have it included as the selection. And when you take a look, you'll see little things like this come up, and there's other ways to fix that problem. But basically, it does a very good job. Now, sometimes you might have to mess with this setting up here called the tolerance, and that has to do with how closely or how loosely it follows the contour of the contrast. Let's take a look at 100% view, and we can see a little more about what we mean. So let's go ahead, hit Control D, and we'll rid of the selection, and we'll change the tolerance from 32 to say 15, and then we'll just click somewhere near these trees, and we can see that holding down the Shift key, we have to continuously click on it in order for it to add to the selection. So that's not a good choice, is it? Let's take a look at the big view, and we can see we'll be here all day adding to the selection with a tolerance that low. So let's go ahead and hit Control D, and then we'll increase the tolerance way up to like 50. Let's take a look at what that does. We click on this area, and then we click again, hold down the Shift key, left click to include it. And it's very, very easy to include things in the selection. In fact, it goes just a little bit too far. Well, there you go. Definitely tolerance of 50 is too much. Let's hit Control D and try it again. Shift left click. And just a little right there, yep, but still just a little too loose. So then we come back down to say 35. Control D, and that's the process, is you're constantly changing this tolerance level based on the specific image. You click on it, hold down the Shift key, add to the selection, and then you'll find eventually that setting that's most efficient for the image that you're working on. The same thing is true with the other tool, the Quick Selection tool. Is simply practicing with it until you get the results that you're looking for on a consistent basis. So there you have it, the Magic Wand tool and the Quick Selection tool for making what? Selections in Photoshop CS6.